It's no secret that St. John's can be a little on the higher end with regard to cost of living, but just how much is a little on the higher end? You might be surprised at the numbers and exactly how we stack up against other Florida cities. We'll talk about that today and more on Experience St. John's. Welcome back. If this is our first time meeting, I'm Gary Davis, Realtor with Coldwell, Vanguard, Realty, and creator of Experience St. John's. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the cost of living here in St. John's and how we compare with other major metropolitan areas around the state. But what's going to surprise you isn't necessarily the cost of living here, but rather the income that supports it. And we're going to talk about that specifically at the end of the video, so stick around. First, let's talk about the overall cost of living. If a baseline score of 100 represents the entire United States, the state of Florida received a score of 103, and St. Johns County received a score of 111. So that means the cost of living in Florida is 3% higher than the national average, and the cost of living here in St. Johns County is 11% higher. As a comparison, the Jacksonville metro area comes in at 100, Orlando at 103, Tampa at 104, Miami at 122, and Tallahassee at 90. Now let's take a look at a cost of living comparison map to see how St. Johns County compares with the rest of the state. On the map, the darker the pink, the higher the cost of living, and the darker the green, the lower the cost of living. As you can see, St. Johns County is slightly higher than the state average. Okay, now let's break that overall score down by category, starting with groceries and food. St. John's scored 103, Jacksonville scored 100, Orlando scored 101, Tampa scored 105, Miami scored 107, and Tallahassee scored 97. The score for the whole state was 103, so we are on par with the state average. Okay, the next category is health and wellness. This category takes things into consideration like hospital stays, doctor visits, and dental visits. St. John's scored 97, Jacksonville scored 101, Orlando scored 103, Tampa 100, Miami 102, and Tallahassee scored 107. Again, the score for the whole state was 103, so we come in well below the state average. Now let's talk about the cost of utilities. This includes electricity, water, and natural gas. St. John's scored 99, Jacksonville scored 103, Orlando scored 102, Tampa scored 96, Miami scored 97, and Tallahassee scored 108. The score for the whole state was 101, so we are just below the state average. Now, one other thing to note about utilities here in our area is the cost for your utilities is going to depend on where you live. If you live in Jacksonville proper, pretty much all of Duval County is served by JEA, or the Jacksonville Electric Authority. If you live in St. John's, you might be served by JEA like I am in Northwest St. Johns County, or you might be served by Florida Power and Light if you're in the southern part of St. Johns County. And if you're over the river in Clay County, chances are you're probably going to be served by Clay Electric. And again, all of these companies are going to have different electric rates, so this one's going to vary depending on where you end up living. Up next is transportation. This encompasses the cost of gasoline, car maintenance, insurance, and mass transit. St. John's scored 96, Jacksonville scored 104, Orlando scored 110, Tampa scored 112, Miami scored 138, and Tallahassee scored 95. The score for the whole state was 113, so that leaves us well below the state average. And this would make sense that places like Miami and Orlando would have higher scores because you've got a lot more traffic there and there's a lot more time sitting on freeways waiting for the traffic to move. Especially if you've ever been on I-4 at 5 o'clock on a Friday, you may as well hang it up. You're not going anywhere. And now the last category, the one everybody talks about and the one that makes up the most of your cost of living, is the price of homes. As of September 2023, the time of this video, the average home in the United States costs $348,000, and the average home price in Florida is $390,000. Now let's see how the state of Florida breaks down with regard to the other metro areas. Jacksonville's average home price is $350,000. Orlando's is $420,000. Tampa's is $408,000. Miami's is $530,000. And Tallahassee's is $305,000. And now, where does St. John's fall in that? St. John's homes come in at an average sale price of $520,000. So, given the average price of a home in the state of Florida is $390,000, that means that St. Johns County homes sell for, on average, 33% above that of the state average. So you might be asking yourself, why are home prices in St. John's so high? I mean, it's not like we're Miami or some major metropolitan area. Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. Our schools here are excellent, and people are migrating here from all over the United States for various reasons, but they come here specifically for our schools. And that keeps our home prices up because people move here from places like New York or California, where home prices can easily exceed $1 million. So a price tag of $520,000 for a home seems like a real bargain to them. And of course, this all begs the question, how do incomes compare across the state of Florida? Because you got to make money if you're going to pay for all this stuff, right? Average individual income and household income in the state of Florida are $29,000 and $58,000 respectively. And breaking down income across the state's major metropolitan areas, Jacksonville incomes are $31,000 and $57,000. Orlando is at $29,000 and $61,000. Tampa incomes are $31,000 and $61,000. Miami comes in at $26,000 and $54,000. And Tallahassee incomes are at $29,000 for single incomes and $54,000 for household incomes. So given all that information, where does St. John's rank in all of this? Well, here in St. John's, our average individual income is $37,000, and our average household income is $84,000. And this is the staggering statistic for me because this means that our individual income on average is 27.5% higher than the state of Florida, and our household income on average is 44% higher. And that's a huge difference. So there you have it, the cost of living in St. John's compared with other major metropolitan areas around the state. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel. And click that little bell icon too so that you're notified each and every time I release a new video. In the meantime, here's another video you might like. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you right back here next time on Experience St. John's.